Good morning, welcome back to Natasha's Reads Right Now, and right now I'm talking about The Empire of Gold, which is the last and final book of the Daevabad trilogy. So I'm going to insert a little spoiler alert warning here for you who have not read books 1 and 2, The City of Brass and The Kingdom of Copper, and you don't want spoilers. Go ahead and stop, because this is book 3, so I'm going to talk about, plot points in books 1 and 2. So go ahead and stop, read it, ingest it, absorb it any way you can, and come back when you are done with the Empire of Gold. For those of you who have stuck around, I'm going to go into a non-spoiler review for the third book, and then at the very end I'm going to talk about some spoilers, stuff towards the end of the book, and basically how I felt some of the characters turned out at the end, because that was my favorite part. So let's go ahead and jump into the non-spoiler portion of the Empire of Gold review. I was up till 3 a.m. finishing this book. Every time I finished a chapter and I'm gonna put this down, I didn't put it down because I was thinking, okay, the next chapter's not so long, maybe I can just finish this one and go to bed, and then like, well, I have to know what happens now, and that spiraled out of control, and read the whole thing and finished at like 3:30 in the a.m. So it was a good book, to say the least. This third book is definitely the gold standard in the way you should end a book series. And yes, pun intended, because the story is complete. There are no loose ends, but with that being said, there's still open-endedness to the story. There's still a feeling that, we're going to leave Daevabad, but it's going to keep going on and growing without us. Definitely character-based driven, and I love that, because not only have I grown to love the characters now or become invested in their story, but they are the ones who are making things finally happen. When back in book 2, I thought there is no way they're going to get out from under this. They can't get a plan off the ground. Every time they do something, it seems to make it 10 times worse. But book 3, I mean, they were pulling the story along. They were the ones driving the action. And I love that, because action for action's sake is not, I don't know, it's not my definition of a great story. When the characters make the action happen, that's when you've got gold. And sorry, I'll stop doing that. In book 1, where at times I was still very confused with the family names, tribe backgrounds, religious phrases, like which one belonged to who, this definitely drove all those points home, connected dots to where I finally felt that I understood this whole culture. And that's because we only got a limited perspective from a couple of people. And that really helped, because then we're invested in the characters and we understand them when they explain their small point of view in this world. Where when you have a whole cast of characters that you're following and trying to get info dumps from each one, that's where things get confusing. But since the series stuck to a few characters' perspectives, we get to learn in reasonable chunks. Even though the world and story just grew larger, having the limited chunks made it feel understandable and relatable. Okay, between books 1 and 2, we had that time jump of 5 or 6 years, and that was really good for the characters as well, because it really helped speed up, not even speed up because it's a time jump, but help us speed up to the point in their lives where they had grown into their powers, and that plays a big role in book 3. And between books 2 and 3, there's no time jump, because our characters have the tools now they needed to bring the story home to the end. And even though there were a lot of bumps in the road, so it gave me the feels of book 2 where, you know, everything seemed to stack against them and weigh them down. But in book 3, they had the skills now to navigate those. I keep saying the word character a lot for this review, and there's a reason. They're amazing. And so I'm going to jump into a spoilery section because I just want to talk about it. So if you haven't read this book and don't want spoilers, go ahead, stop, go read it, come back, and let's talk about it. There is a wide spectrum of the personalities in these characters. You've got Ali, who is the wholesome, religious man who is loyal, devout, and disciplined. Then you get Dara. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how much and in books 1 and 2, I gave him the benefit of the doubt the whole time. You know, I was trying to feel for him, but in book 3, oh my goodness, at every chance, he had so many chances to switch things, to switch sides, to just make different choices and become better, and he didn't. And I was definitely anti-Dara towards, man, most of the book. Even at the end, he still hasn't flipped me around. But how happy the ending was, I can't believe he was a part of it. That's what I'm getting at. Because the book of the ending was mostly happy, I can't believe Dara was even there to experience the ending. But that brings up a really good point. You know, even he talks about it. You know, I can't change what I did, and I deserve to be hated and feared. But you know what? I can't do anything about how other people perceive me, including myself. But Dara said he was going to stay here and make it up. And although, you know, you could argue that, can somebody really ever make something up from the horrible, evil things they've done? But I feel, you know, Dara's got a chance to do that. Nari, she's amazing. She has grown so much in book 2, where she learned to lead her people and be loyal to them and also grow in their faith. But in book 3, she is really able to make the best of both of her lives. You know, her cunning con woman from Cairo to this leader of Jen in the second book. Nari is the best person to navigate this story with all of its pretty morally awful characters. I mean, most of the city is pretty prejudiced and bigoted, but she really was able to come from a place of strength for herself, but still be able, like she said, to read her mark, to read people. And that is what made her the perfect person to make changes in this world. And Ali, the faithful, organized, disciplined one, was the perfect partner for her to make that happen. And that is the end. That is all my thoughts for now. Until I go back and reread the series, and reread it, I shall. Because this series deserves a deep dive into every aspect of its writing. And I intend to do that in the not so distant future. Thank you for watching, and remember, if you like a big book series and you cannot lie, go ahead and like and subscribe.